Just like after a baby is born, so you must afterwards change their diapers, feed them, wean them, train them, help them mature into good teens, good adults. So it's the same with the property. After you've bought the property, your job's actually not done. It kind of like just starting out, because the concept of the property is that it's an asset that's supposed to give you income. And how does it do that? Because you take care of it, you manage it. If you want professional property management, come to us, but I'm going to give you a little bit general principles whereby you can manage your property very well on your own. Again, these are very general principles, not very specific examples. See if you can take a few hints and improve your relationship with your tenant in Dubai. If you want a team to take care of your property, help you purchase a property, sell a property, there is a link below. Hit it, click it, let's talk. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. And obviously show us some love in the comment section. Look, for me, managing conflict with a tenant, if you understand some basic precepts, some basic principles, you're going to be okay. To be able to manage conflict, let's understand where it might arise from, okay? So if you understand where it might come from, you're going to be able to take preemptive. You're going to be able to train yourself to take preemptive measures so that it doesn't actually come to a situation where there's conflict, okay? My personal opinion, there's three areas. Either there is mismatched expectations, personality clashes, or extenuating circumstances. I'm going to go through each one of these and give you examples so that you will understand how to preempt this. What are mismatched expectations, okay? Let's assume that before you've done a handover of a property, you actually mentioned to a tenant that it's going to be perfectly painted, okay? And perhaps the property was painted just a month ago while it came back into the market, and in a month it's got a few marks and scratches and so on and so forth. Now, if the contract states to the tenant that the property is going to be perfectly painted when it's given and handed over, you better make sure that it's perfectly painted, because you've already set an expectation. Maintenance issues, right? It should be identified in a contract that maintenance issues in emergency situations will be dealt by yourself or your team within 10 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours. At least an acknowledgement will be sent back to them. Let's say in the summer months, the air conditioning is not working. At least in 2 hours, you should be able to acknowledge that you and your team are on it, right? That's an emergency situation. In non-emergency situations, perhaps you can take 24 hours. Again, put this in the contract so that you can set right expectations, so the tenants will know exactly how you would deal with any emergency. The problem arises when there's mismatched expectations. If they feel a non-emergency help or maintenance issue needs to be dealt with in an hour, and that's what their expectation is, because whatever, maybe they've lived in a hotel before, that's going to overflow into a conflict. But if you've already explained to them that emergencies are defined something that are critical, like an air conditioning not working, non-emergencies are non-critical, like the toilet seat broken. You can still kind of function without a toilet seat, okay? If there's a small leak, it's not a big emergency. If it's a mega leak that's flooding the living room, could be a bigger emergency, right? Refund of the deposit. We've gone to write in our contracts that the refund will take 14 days to come back to the tenant. Why? Because those 14 days are essential for you to discover anything that you might have already missed in the property when you did a handover back from the tenant, okay? If you write this down, you're managing expectations better. Even if you did not, even if the tenant did not read them, if something like this came up, you can tell them, look, please refer to the contract. This clause so-and-so allows me to do this and this for you, not for you, so on and so forth. So you're well within your rights, and at least you've tried to pre-explain them, okay? Number two, personality, okay? Here's the thing, okay? I think it's very, very clear that everybody should understand that a tenant and you share a business relationship, okay? You as in the landlord. That business relationship can sometimes become friendly. There's nothing wrong with that. If you as the landlord happen to visit them once a year and they happen to offer you tea, that's fine, no problem. Ideally speaking, your property manager should be doing this so they know where the boundaries are. But if you become too friendly, too chummy with your tenant, sometimes it can again lead to things that could add conflict, because between friends it's kind of difficult to apply rules, right? So if in Dubai you bounce a rent check, you're liable to sometimes pay a penalty of a few hundred to 1,000 or more dirhams. But if you're friends, it kind of becomes difficult to apply that, right? So maintain a very professional relationship so that personality can never come in, right? If somebody's very friendly but childish, and if somebody's very friendly but stern, there's going to be a personality clash. But if both parties keep it business-like, especially the landlord, it's going to be okay. Last but not the least, extenuating circumstances, all right? Extenuating circumstances. For example, the weird pandemic, okay, guys? I need you as the landlord to understand that when extenuating circumstances come up, for example, the weird pandemic, you've got to notice that you are the landlord and that is the tenant. You're the landlord. The word in itself speaks volumes, okay? Now, I understand you have, as the landlord, also commitments such as mortgage and so on and so forth. But you've got to understand that here you are the owner of a 500,000 dirham, 1 million, 10 million dirham property, whereas your tenant is liable for paying rent for that much, right? For 100,000, 200,000, okay? You're both financially in very different situations. So when the pandemic comes around, if as the landlord you're able to give them some respite, you should, okay? Not giving them any respite, I don't think it's very fair. You should act like the landlord and let the tenant be the tenant, okay? I'm not saying give the house away, but it's okay because, you know, in extreme pandemic situations, we've known to give 30% discounts on monthly rents where people were just let go, had no job, they didn't have a job, or their companies turned up not paying them any salaries because the company said they did not have any business, right? Similarly, if your tenants lost their job, I remember one of the top real estate professionals in the Dubai market will waive the penalty of 2 months if you can prove by showing your bank statements that even after you've lost your job, you don't have any savings to pay the penalty. So, you know, work out with your tenants. In extenuating circumstances, help them, give them a helping hand to make life easier for them, right? If your tenants lost their job and all you're doing is hell bent on collecting a 2 months penalty while they can't pay you any rent, you might end up in a situation where they will end up leaving the property without paying, and then you can't rent it on to anybody else. So better work with them to help them alleviate the pain and move out. All right, guys, listen, managing conflict with tenants, it's a big field, but if you understand these 3 basic things and try to apply it in your relationship with your tenant, don't mismatch expectations, match them by explaining them in advance. Don't let personalities come in play, just be business-like. Lastly, when there's extenuating circumstances, one party's got to like throw a lifeline to the other, and that's got to be you, the landlord, because you're the landlord. Ciao for now. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. My name is Fahd Dawood. I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I started in Toronto, Canada in 2006, and since 2007 I've been based in Dubai and doing real estate in Dubai. Look, if you're looking to work with me, there's a form below and my mobile number. I do paid consulting. You can also get help from my team for services. If you like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe and the bell icon, and share it with your friends who you feel would be able to benefit from the content of this video. Last but not the least, I'll repeat, me and my team's role is always going to be to help and select the best property for you. Your role will be to invest in that property, and we will in turn invest in your life and your future. Bye for now.